Welcome back to another video. My name is Stephen Foster, and today we're talking about Moments Phone Filter Mount. This guy right here, this little bracket that goes over your phone, over the lenses on your phone, and then allows you to mount a filter on it, kind of like Moments CP filter, which I'll be talking a little bit about in this video as well. A little backstory on this setup though, because filters are super important, but it wasn't always this easy to put a filter on your phone. Moment used to make this sort of filter ring mount thing for their lenses. So you'd actually put this ring mounted onto a lens and then mount that onto your phone. This was actually really tough though, because it had all these little washers or little, I don't know what to call these, just like little plastic pieces that would insert into this mounting point, and it was never quite perfect, and it got the job done. It would allow you to put a filter on top of a Moment lens, which was on top of your phone's lens, but it was kind of cumbersome, and it made it a lot more difficult when shooting mobile photography. Now, this filter mount I think I've had for maybe 4 years, 5 years now, maybe even longer. I don't know. Whenever they first came out, I think I've used it once, and part of the reason was it's so cumbersome to have on your Moment lens that I just didn't use that, versus what we're going to be talking about today, which is this new filter mount. This is so easy to just throw in your bag. You can throw this in your pocket, in like a jacket pocket or something, and then bring along like just a normal size filter and just pop that on to here, and all of a sudden you have either V&D, CP, even UV type filters, anamorphic filters, type filters, and it's all right there on your phone. It's a lot easier to take on, take off. I do have some drawbacks that I do want to talk about with this, but we'll get to those in this video. Now, I think we got to get the question out of the way: why would you want to use a filter on your phone's camera? UV filters are really great if you are shooting somewhere where there's UV light, kind of like LEDs. There's a lot of LEDs now in like corporate buildings, or even restaurants might have them, that can actually do some harm to your image because of the way that the colors are reflecting back. Your camera, especially on a smartphone, is actually processing light that you can't see as well, and it will affect the color that is coming off of your camera into that image. A UV filter will cut that down. Now, if you have something like a V&D filter, you can go out and shoot outside, lock your shutter speed to your frame rate, and that'll give you a very natural video motion. That's very important if you don't want to blow out your image, to have a V&D to block down some of that light. And then finally, I think my favorite type of filter is a CP filter, or a polarizer filter. A polarizer filter is going to cut down on light, kind of in the way that polarized sunglasses do. If you've ever worn polarized sunglasses and looked at something like reflections on the water, you see that that cuts down and does away with a lot of that. And a CP filter is really helpful inside as well, because you'll be able to cut down on reflections against surfaces like windows, where you would normally then capture just a reflection in the window in your scene. You can actually get what's through the window and on the other side of the window into your scene as well. So that's where CP filters, ooh, look at that, reflecting. That's where CP filters come in handy and can be really great to have. First, I want to show you guys a photo that I took on my iPhone Pro Max. This filter system will work on pretty much any modern phone. It's really great because it just has this little tension screw here, and then as you twist it, it gets a little bit tighter. The bracket's wide enough that it fits fine on a Pro Max phone, iPhone. Probably fit on any Pixel or any other phone that you might want to use it on. Now, with these two images that I have up here on the screen, the one on the left was shot with no filter, and if you look at it, the sky looks kind of nice. There's some color there, but I think that's part of the computational photography that the phone's trying to do. I did shoot all these images in the built-in camera app, just because I know that that's what most people use. If you really want to get the most out of your phone camera, I would recommend something like Moments app, maybe like Filmic or Halide. Those are all good apps for shooting manual on your phone. But I like shooting in the camera app sometimes to help me really see like what's possible without a filter. And if I'm not quite shooting manual, but I want to shoot and just see what the phone can give me, what does that look like? And here we have an image where, yeah, the sky looks okay, but The rest of my scene is just really not well lit. It's not balanced. There's shadows all over the place. And honestly, this is a golden hour shot. I kind of expect that golden light that is hitting this resort by our house here on the lake. I would expect that building to be reflecting a lot of that golden light. Now, if you look at the photo that I have on the right, this is shot with the Moment CP filter, and already it just looks like a far more neutral image where you're getting a lot more of the subject sort of showing up and being well lit. A lot of the harsh reflections are cut down. You can actually make out some of the boats down there that are sitting at the docks. I think that's a great place to start for an edit. Then if we move over to the final edit that I ended up posting, it just looks a lot better than I think any of those images because it has that more neutral sort of look to it. And that's something that you're only going to get with a CP filter. You're not going to be able to fake that in software when you're taking that photo. At least not yet. I always like hedge because it's like software keeps getting better. And maybe we'll come across one day where, I don't know, pixels can shutter themselves at different rates and get a semblance of like a CP type filter, but I don't think we're there yet. And I think it's going to be a while until we do something like that or have technology in our hands that allows us to do that. And plus, there's also the argument that kind of doing it in hardware, you have more control over it. You can change how that CP filter is blocking out light or cutting down on harsh light to give you a more artistic look. But yeah, there are a lot of good things to say about this particular filter mount. I like that it can kind of be usable on any phone. It'll probably work on the next phone that comes out sometime in 2022 that you may purchase. It works on older phones. So if you have like an old iPhone 10 like I do, you can throw this on there and it'll mostly work. It'll maybe look a little bit funky, but it kind of just gets the job done. Yeah, I like how simple this thing is. I think the biggest thing I like about it is a 67 millimeter thread mount, standard thread mount size. So if you already have 67 millimeter thread mounted filters, you can just put that right on top of this. Or if you have like a larger filter set, like my entire filter set is all at 82 millimeters, I can just throw an adapter on here that'll cost me whatever, $10. And now all of a sudden I can use every single filter in my kit on this mount. The trade-off with this though is it's a lot harder to kind of like take off your phone and go, and I probably wouldn't leave this on my phone if I needed to put my phone in my pocket or if I was like out on a hike or something. That's one thing. If you guys have seen some of the other videos on my channel talking about like Polar Pro's LiteChaser Pro, with that dedicated filter mount system, it's really easy to just pop a filter off, throw it into its little case, and then shove that into your pocket. Whereas this is an entire sort of mounting bracket that you're kind of committing to when you put this on your phone. Especially if you screw on a filter here and put that onto the mount. If you want to take this off your phone, then the filter's sort of unprotected on both sides. There isn't really a good way to then protect this system. I would have liked to see Moment come out with something that maybe could like encase this and protect it. So if you wanted to take it off, throw it in your pocket real quick, you're not worried about how dirty both sides of your filter is getting. That would have been kind of nice. I would have liked to see that. But overall, I'm really happy with this. I'm really, really happy with this. I've started shooting with it this week. It just feels solid. It's all metal construction. It's got nice pads, so it's not going to damage your phone when it mounts on there. It's nice. It feels very quality. And Moment CP filter gets the job done. It's not the best CP filter I think I've ever used in my life, but for the price, I think that's what Moment wanted to do, is they wanted to make a really great CP filter at the price point that I think this comes in at, which is I think around somewhere, like I think it's around $60 US, somewhere around there. I'll link everything down below in the description, but for the price, I think it'd be tough to beat. I do think this is the new sort of like first investment you should make if you're starting to level up your photography with mobile photography, is to go with filters. I think 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when the Moment lenses were first coming out, that was kind of the like easy way to say, yeah, definitely get something like a Moment lens, and that'll change what you're able to do. It'll expand what you're able to do with your phone. Now, I think I would recommend new photographers to pick up a filter mount and then see what you can do with all of the lenses that are already built into your phone. So that's kind of a new thing for me. Something that's been coming is recommending filters over lenses. I still think Moment's lenses are great. I still think having them in your arsenal can help you achieve an artistic and different aesthetic that you won't get on any other phone camera. But I think this is just so much more accessible and easy to use. And since you already have maybe 2 or 3 different cameras on your phone, this may be the upgrade that you want to make. So I hope this video helped you out if you're looking to see what's possible sort of with this filter mount. Like I said, I think this is a huge upgrade over the old filter mount that required you to mount this onto Moments lenses. I much prefer this new mount with the bracket way more. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Stephen Foster, and subscribe to this channel if you have yet to. I'm so grateful for all of you who already have. Thank you so much. Be kind both in life and in the comments below, and like this video to send good vibes across the internet. We'll do it again soon. Later. Oh, I got an outro with this, right? Somehow, some way. This is an 82mm threaded lens that I'm shooting this video on, and this is a 67. Let's see if it works. See ya.